Today is Wednesday, 9th of January, and I had a dream this morning that I want to upload onto YouTube as soon as I can. And so it's the same day that I had the dream, Wednesday, 9th of January. And the dream was about a tsunami in Japan. I was in Japan in the dream, and I was by the shore in some form of building that I can't describe, and I looked out the window and saw a huge white wall of water coming from the ocean coming in, and I immediately reacted to run. My reaction was to run and yell out tsunami. And I think one distinguishing feature of the dream was that it was at night. It was dark, or twilight, dusk, or dawn. It was, semi-dark, dark. And I remember thinking, oh, what a terrible time for a tsunami to come, when it's dark, and no one's gonna see it, and it's gonna be catch a lot of people unawares. And so I bolted. My mum was with me in the dream. I didn't see her, but I remember her being with me or behind me, and I was running up a hill. I remember just thinking, what am I going to do? And I just thought to run, and so I ran up a hill, and there was all Japanese people in the streets to my left and to my right, and I'm running, and I'm thinking, and I'm yelling out, tsunami, go, 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 tsunami. And at the time I'm yelling out tsunami, I'm thinking to myself, that's the actual Japanese word, they're going to understand what that means. And so I'm yelling out to these Japanese people to run, and I don't remember any of them taking much notice of me. I can't recall anyone in the dream running after me or running with me. But my mum behind me was basically not chastising me, but basically telling me, don't yell it out. And I'm thinking the reason for that is because she didn't want to get caught. If the whole load of people started to run and charge into the street, she didn't want to get left behind. And so I was running up a hill, and there happened to be a sort of a steep hill there, and then the next part of the dream, I'm on like a sort of a steps of a school or an amphitheatre, an open area, and there's a Japanese girl beside me crying, and there's another Japanese girl that was laughing, and then I felt like I was in a hospital. I spent 17 days in 2017 in hospital, and I felt like that same feeling of just sitting there and waiting and not wanting to be in that position. In the dream, I distinctly remember wanting to go to another part of Japan, but now I can't because of this tsunami, and I wanted to go on to Taiwan. That was all thoughts in my mind in this dream. And and then there was like a plastic hospital tub container type thing, and there was things inside there in plastic, and I remember thinking, well, they can't be used now because they're all waterlogged. And then to my right, that was to my left, and to my right I noticed some writing on a wall, but it was on some sort of filthy, scummy, dirty type metal button or plastic button, but there was writing in it. And I remember thinking, I need to read what that writing is, because I've had dreams before where there's writing, and thinking, what's that message say? And even though the dream was this morning, I tried to remember it when I got up. I couldn't remember. The only thing I can remember is something about when there's a depression or a compression in the weather. I'm thinking, what does this mean? The compression in the weather. And there was something about a couple of other countries mentioned, but yeah, my fault for not remembering it or not trying to remember it. And that's basically it. I think the main thing is to get this onto YouTube the day that I had the dream, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there is a tsunami in Japan in the next coming months. But I wanted to put it on to YouTube. I felt led to put it onto YouTube. It's not going to obviously reach the Japanese people. They're not going to be logging onto my channel and watching it, or who knows, maybe a few will. But there's no identifiers in the dream that's going to be able to help anyone, I guess. I mean, I guess if anything, it'll be for my credibility, to see whether this is a thing from the Lord, or whether it's just a product of the day, this dream. I don't believe it's a product of the day. I haven't been thinking about tsunamis, haven't been watching any videos on tsunamis, and it was a morning dream. It happened this morning from roughly 6 a.m. in the morning till about 10:30. It was in those hours that I had the dream. So anyway, it's on YouTube now, and it's out there, and that was what I wanted to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.